Hello, hello. It's your boy. Yeah. Hello, hello. It's your boy Danny. This is going to be the first episode on Just a Regular Guy. It's basically a new channel that I'm going to be making. I've made one in the past, and it was essentially around football. I basically want to make something that would basically connect to more people on a day-to-day basis, or just in general. So this is why I'm making something like this. So this video is basically why you have no space in your room or your house, you could say. But I want to touch on a few points. One of them being the first tip I want to be sharing is changing your mindset. Now, you might be thinking, what does that mean? Essentially, when you're trying to get rid of things, you might think in your head, oh, I want to keep this, I want to keep that, because it meant a lot to me 5 years ago, 10 years ago. What I've realized in actually cleaning up, let's say, my conservatory, which isn't really part of the house, but what I've learned from that and cleaning my room also is that you can't keep hanging on to things. You got to get rid of them because you're not going to have space for the new things you want to get. So, how do you do this? It's basically just shifting your mindset to think, if I haven't, let's say, worn it in the past, I don't know, 3 months or maybe even up to a year, I'm probably not going to wear it. So, we need to get rid of it, right? Cool. Another way to tackle this, essentially taking it one section at a time. If you're just trying to think, oh, I'm going to do, let's say, my whole room or a whole place in my house, you're not going to get it done. Whereas if you're like, okay, cool, let me sort the wardrobe out first. Let me do, let's say, what's around my bed second. Let me do my shoes next. This way, it's kind of like you're setting little goals and you'll achieve the bigger target. Another one is having a space for things you're unsure about. So things that fall within this gray area. So you know you have stuff that you want to keep, you have stuff that you want to get rid of, but you may have stuff where you're like kind of on the edge. You're like, oh, do I want to keep it? Do I not? In this case, have a spot for it, and we'll tackle this either later that day or at another time. But make sure you do at least make some headway on what you're getting rid of. Okay, so another one would be identifying what you actually want to get rid of. Is it clothing? Is it shoes? Is it some items around the house? Is it some items in your room? Is it just or do you want to just tidy up and get rid of clutter, unnecessary things? You have to identify this because if you go in thinking I'm going to get rid of some things, it might turn to a lot more, and then that kind of defeats the purpose. But at the same time, if you're not clear with what you want to get rid of, then don't I don't know where you're going basically. The next step, probably the hardest one, something I've struggled with over even let's say the years, clean up my conservatory and my room like properly and get rid of things. I've found it very hard to do because I keep saying, oh yeah, next week when I'm next off. Obviously, if most of you may be working, if you're not, then hey, lucky you. When you start, you're not going to stop.
What do you mean by that?
But for those of you who are working, you might find it hard to dedicate time to actually clean up and tidy up. Obviously, there's like tidying up the house, like cleaning, sweeping, mopping, whatever,
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
stuff like that. When it comes to actually like tidying up and getting rid of things that you may have thought you needed a year ago, that isn't going to be the same now. The next step would basically be enjoying the process. All right, so the sixth and the final step is going to be enjoying the process. This could be through music, watching a podcast while you're doing it, just something that kind of takes your mind off what you're doing. At the same time, some people may like being in the moment. So it's kind of like when if you wash dishes. If you don't, hey, lucky you. I want to say you're going to get there, but some of you maybe not. But if you wash dishes, some people like being in that moment, doing that and washing the dishes, just concentrating on that. Some people like to take their mind off, like myself, having music, having a podcast, just something to take my mind off and still doing what I have to get done. And that's kind of all I have for you today. Um, yeah, man, this is obviously the first video of many. Obviously, I'm a new channel, kind of starting out. So yeah, man, show me some love, show me some hate. It is what it is. The world's the world. But yeah, man, I'm gonna enjoy this. Obviously, for you guys that maybe are interested, this is like I have a lacerated lip. I play some football on the side, so someone's basically thought my head was the ball. So yeah, that's that. But that's why I look a bit groggy now. On I'm looking dusty. But next video, hopefully we change in it. But peace.